My mom was born in St. Louis. She was a housewife and a mom, very proud and very self-motivated in that aspect of her life. So in today's world, when everybody's working and doing their thing and have careers, she was an example of the old days.
In May of 2022, she was taken to the hospital where she ended up being in a rehabilitation center. And while she was in there, she somehow got some pretty severe wounds on her legs. We did not like the care at all. We didn't like the food. We didn't like the screaming in the hallway. And so we were eager to get her out of there.
She tried to tough it out on her own and fought us like anybody would do. In the meantime, we were making ready for that by building her own apartment downstairs so that she could have the privacy and the freedom of feeling like she's in a home and not constantly, in the middle of the activity.
She finally decided that maybe she couldn't live on her own. And then when she got here, it was nothing that we thought. It was so overwhelming. The first few months were probably the hardest. We were battling wounds on 2 legs, UTIs, constipation. She was walking when she was in the rehab center. When she got here, she couldn't walk. She couldn't function downstairs.
Given the condition that she was now in, you go to the doctor for a visit. Well, how do you do that?
Yeah.
In an ambulance or, a lift or whatever. I mean, everything was a challenge at that point as far as any kind of outside care.
That's when Mount Evans pretty much knocked on our door and then talked to us about hospice.
In the winter of 2022, I joined Mary's team, and my role as a social worker is to support her and to support the family.
Julie was amazing. She would text me, she would call me, she would come over. That peace of mind was everything.
Part of my role is to empower family members that have become caregivers and give them the resources that they need to care for their loved one in their home. When Meg started her caregiver role, it was very new to her, and it was stressful and somewhat overwhelming. Watching her go from that to the point where she kind of just took it on and she had a lot of pride in that role, and she became kind of a pro at it, was really amazing to watch.
We saw Mount Evans as that support system to make sure that she was cared for. They never talked at her. They always asked her how she was feeling. So there was always that dignity of being heard.
The connections that are formed in my work are really such a joy. And I really enjoy getting to know Mary and Dave and Meg and kind of seeing them through this journey.
When Mom was going into transition, my daughter sent me a text, and it was about the blue moon. And there was an article, and it said, with the blue moon, Pisces is facing the sun and Virgo is facing the moon, and then this big moon comes. Well, I'm a Pisces, he's a Virgo. And my mother-in-law passed away at 7:40 with the blue moon. Is that so pretty?
Pretty cool.
She went out the way she came in, big. It was amazing. Living in Evergreen, Colorado makes caring for our adult parents very difficult. I encourage anybody who has an aged parent that they're taking care of to reach out to Mount Evans. The community aspect of it is huge. Mount Evans has been amazing for our family and our mom.